Welcome to Red Horror Tale. My name is Oxley. A man boards a train and vanishes. Not a trace of him was ever found. Not a word. Not a piece of luggage. Nothing. The man was Louis Le Prince, and in 1890, he may have been the most important inventor on Earth. He had filmed moving pictures, real, living, breathing moving pictures, years before anyone else is credited with doing so. He vanished just weeks before he was to show that invention to the world. And the question that has haunted investigators for over a century is simply this: why then? On the 16th of September, 1890, Louis Le Prince said goodbye to his brother at Dijon station, stepped onto a train bound for Paris, and was never seen again. French police searched. Scotland Yard searched. His family searched. What happened to Louis Le Prince was never established, and the case has never been solved. Welcome. We are going to lay every clue out together, piece by piece, and by the end, the evidence is yours to weigh. Chapter 1. The Empty Seat. Dijon, 16 September 1890. A man boards a train. His brother watches from the platform. That is the last confirmed sighting of Louis Le Prince. When the train reaches Paris, he is not there. No farewell, no struggle recorded, no witness who saw him leave. His luggage, every piece of it, vanished with him. French police searched. Scotland Yard searched. His family searched. Nothing was ever found. Think about what that means. A man, his luggage, every trace, gone from a moving train. What do you make of that? A door opened mid-journey? Help from inside the carriage? Think about the timeline, and who might have known he was on that train? Who was Louis Le Prince? And why, of all the moments in his life, does he vanish from this one? Let's open the board. The location, Dijon to Paris, France. And Louis Le Prince, the missing film pioneer. Chapter 2. The Father of Cinema. His name was Louis Le Prince, French-born, a scientist, an artist, a man who believed he could capture time itself. In 1888, he did something no one had done before. He filmed moving images, real, living motion, using a single-lens camera of his own design. Those flickering sequences, just seconds long, are among the earliest moving pictures ever recorded. History would call him the father of cinematography. But in the autumn of 1890, he was preparing for something even bigger. A public demonstration. His invention, finally revealed to the world. Think about what that moment would have meant for him and for everyone watching. On the 16th of September, 1890, he boarded a train at Dijon, bound for Paris. He never arrived. No trace of Louis Le Prince was ever found. Not him, not his luggage, not a single explanation. He vanished at the precise moment he was about to change history, and almost no one asked why. On the board so far, Louis Le Prince, the missing film pioneer. Now we pin up Le Prince's brother, the last known witness. Chapter 3. The last person to see him. Dijon, the 16th of September, 1890. Louis Le Prince had spent time with his brother. We know almost nothing of what passed between them. No record of their conversation survives. Le Prince stepped aboard the Paris train. His brother watched him go. That was the last confirmed sighting of Louis Le Prince. When the train reached Paris, he was not on board. Neither Le Prince nor his luggage was ever found. Think about that for a moment. A man, his bags, every trace, simply gone. What do you make of those final moments on the platform? What might have passed between the two brothers that no one thought to write down, or that someone chose not to? The brother was the last witness, and what he knew, or what he said, may be the key to everything that follows. On the board so far, Le Prince's brother, the last known witness. Now we pin up unknown, the perpetrator, if any. Chapter 4. The search that found nothing. The searches began almost immediately. French police moved through every carriage record they had. Scotland Yard joined the effort. Crossing borders, crossing agencies, his own family searched. Desperate, methodical, exhausting every contact they had. No one on that train remembered him. No luggage surfaced. Not at the terminus, not anywhere along the route. No body was ever recovered. Think about what that means. Every inquiry, every line of questioning returned nothing. The simplest explanation, the one that closes the fewest doors, is that Le Prince took his own life somewhere along that route. It is a theory that many have found almost comfortable, but a body has to go somewhere. Every inch of that route was examined, and still nothing. Which means the quietest explanation may be the least true of all. On the board so far, unknown, the perpetrator, if any. Now we pin up 1888, Le Prince film's first moving picture sequences. Chapter 5. A demonstration that never came. September 1890. Louis Le Prince was weeks away from changing everything. He had spent years building his invention, a single-lens moving picture camera. A public demonstration had been arranged. The world was about to see moving pictures for the first time. Then, on the 16th of September, he boarded a train at Dijon. He never arrived. No trace of Le Prince was ever found. Not him, not his luggage. The French police searched. Scotland Yard searched. His family searched. Nothing. Think about that timing. Weeks before his demonstration, he vanishes without a trace. What do you make of that? The question we have to place on the board is this: who stood to lose the most if Louis Le Prince walked onto that stage? On the board so far, 1888, Le Prince films first moving picture sequences. Now we pin up 16 September 1890. Boards train at Dijon for Paris. Chapter 6. The rivals and the stakes. By 1890, a race was underway. Across Europe and America, inventors were chasing the same dream: moving pictures. The stakes were not small. Whoever demonstrated first, publicly on the record, would own the claim. Louis Le Prince had filmed moving sequences as early as 1888. Others were close behind, and some were formidably powerful. No evidence connects any rival, any institution, any individual to what happened to Le Prince. That must be said clearly and held on to. But consider the timing. Just weigh it with me for a moment. Le Prince vanished days before a planned public demonstration of his invention. In a contest where being first was everything, he never arrived. His disappearance wasn't just strange. It was, perhaps, perfectly timed, and someone, somewhere, knew what that meant. On the board so far, 16 September 1890. Boards train at Dijon for Paris. Now we pin up 16 September 1890. Never arrives, vanishes without trace. Chapter 7. The theory of chosen erasure. Some investigators have always asked a quieter question. What if Louis Le Prince simply chose to disappear. It is a theory that deserves to be taken seriously, even if it ultimately breaks apart. Financial pressures, some accounts suggest, had been weighing on him. Personal circumstances, the precise nature of which was never fully documented, may have darkened his situation further. A desperate man, this theory goes, might seek an exit. Think about what that would require. A plan, a destination, a new identity, a way to simply evaporate. Here is what I want you to weigh with me. A man on the verge of a world-changing public demonstration. Does that man walk away from everything days before his moment of triumph? It screens belief. And then there is the luggage, never found. Not a single piece. A planned exit leaves traces, but this left nothing, and the silence that follows that fact points somewhere far more troubling. On the board so far, 16 September 1890. Never arrives, vanishes without trace. Now we pin up 1897, officially declared dead, case unsolved. Chapter 8. The photograph that surfaced. Decades passed. The world moved on. Louis Le Prince remained lost. Then something surfaced, quietly, with almost no explanation. Researchers, years later, reported the existence of a photograph held inside a French police archive. The photograph purported to show a man. Some who examined it believed that man bore a resemblance to Louis Le Prince. That identification was never confirmed. The provenance of the photograph, where it came from, how it arrived there, remains unknown. No date, no name attached, no chain of custody that anyone has been able to trace. We simply do not know who placed it there, or when. Pause here with me for a moment and consider what this photograph might mean for the timeline. If the man in that photograph was Louis Le Prince, then he was alive somewhere after that train from Dijon. And that is perhaps the most unsettling question of this entire case. If it was him, where had he been? And why had he never come forward? On the board so far, 1897, officially declared dead, case unsolved. Now we pin up a key clue. No body ever found. Chapter 9. Declared dead, never explained. 7 years passed. 7 years of silence, of searching, of nothing. In 1897, a court formally declared Louis Le Prince dead. No cause was given, no scene, no explanation, no resolution. The man who had filmed moving pictures 2 years before he vanished, the man weeks from showing the world what he had made, never gave that demonstration, and credit for cinema shifted to others. Neither Le Prince nor his luggage was ever found. The French police searched. Scotland Yard searched. His family searched. Murder, suicide, deliberate disappearance. Not one of these was ever proven. So hold all of it in your mind. The timing, the rivals, the stakes, the brother on that platform, the train that arrived with no trace of him aboard. What do you make of it when you line every piece up together? On the board so far, a key clue. No body ever found. Now we pin up a key clue. Luggage also vanished. Chapter 10. The board is yours now. 16 September 1890. Louis Le Prince boards a train at Dijon, bound for Paris. His brother watches him go. That is the last confirmed sighting of Louis Le Prince ever. When the train arrived in Paris, he was not on it. Not him, and not his luggage. French police searched. Scotland Yard searched. His family searched. Nothing. was ever found. The man who was days away from showing the world moving pictures simply vanished. Was it murder? Suicide? A life deliberately walked away from? No answer has ever been proven. He was declared dead in 1897, 7 years after that train pulled away from Dijon. So, the board is yours now. You have the timeline, the motive, the stakes, created, the competing theories. What do you think happened to Louis Le Prince on 16 September 1890? Share your theory in the comments. The case, the timeline, the motive. Where does your thinking land? If this case has gripped you, subscribe and know that officially, after more than a century, the disappearance of Louis Le Prince remains unsolved. On the board so far, a key clue. Luggage also vanished. Now we pin up a key clue. Last seen at Dijon station.